Even when you was thinking about requesting PC, or did you actually?
Mm-mm.
But you thought about it.
I took his word. I would have went.
Yeah.
I would have went, bro.
But even then, doesn't that kind of hurt your reputation while you're in prison?
I was through with.
But you didn't even care about none of that.
Nah, my daughter was out in the streets.
Yeah.
My mom was still alive. My grandma was alive at the time. You know what I'm saying? I got family. Like I ain't never, even when I was in the street, fam, I was always thinking like I would have never let my pride get me killed. Never. You know what I'm saying? Not even now. I'll never be like, and then if that happened, you gonna die, and then they gonna, only thing he was real. Mm-mm. Nah, my daughter was out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what was it? Was it a moment while you was locked up? Did something happen that kind of just inspired you to say, you know what, I'm done with this shit? Like, what exactly was it?
I was scared. I was
tired of that shit?
Scared and tired, man.
But no particular event that you can remember, like, damn, at this moment, I was like, fuck it.
When I took the 6 minute no cover violation.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when I took the phone. They took.
So you actually did take a violation for that?
Nah, it was something else. It was right before. It was a situation that put me on probation that would have got me smashed off. I ended up going half on the phone with this guy, man, and basically ended up chomping the phone from him. And he was what they call a friend of the folks. And he went and hollered at them, and next thing you know, they talking to me. I'm thinking, how in the world are y'all talking to me about him? Like, he ain't even affiliated. And next thing you know, the number one came over and hollered at me, you know what I'm saying, and all the G's in the cell taking up from me. And I told him, I was like, man, y'all step out real quick. And I went on, I kept it real with him. I was like, bro, yeah, I got the phone and this and that. I was like, man, if he want to see me, you know what I'm saying, we can get him up one-on-one. It's penitentiary rules at this point. If he feel like I took something from him, we'll settle it in the cell. I said, other than that, I ain't giving him no phone. He looked me dead in my face, the number one. Told me, he said, you got 72 hours to give me a phone back. I'm going to come and confiscate it myself. I can't buck him. I can't say nothing. I just kind of looked at him like, dude, what? Like, I thought we were supposed to be, and then, of course, he ran what the G's supposed to be at the time. The whole time, he a junkie. Matter of fact, he just died about 6 months ago from an overdose. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? He running it anyway. We don't supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be for the community. Then they run down, what they supposed to say at the time. And then, yeah, man, I did a bunch of stuff with the phone. I paid him the money. But I act like I was going to pay him the money. And they had what they call a green dot. It's just another way to wire money. And my cellie, I'm telling my cellie, I'm like, look, this is what I'm finna do. I said, man, I'm finna get them up here, because you can check the numbers. You put it on speaker, you push the numbers in, and it'll say how much is available on the balance. So I tell him, I said, go in another cell, take the phone. I said, when they check the balance, I'm going to pop the door. When the door open, that means you get on the phone and you pull the numbers out before they take them downstairs to him. So as soon as they check the numbers, I pop the door. He knew to get on the phone, and he pulled the numbers off. So they go downstairs to take the money to the dude, because instead of giving the phone back, I told him I'd pay him the money. Mm-hmm. They go downstairs to get him the numbers, and just so happened they call Rick, which was perfect timing for me, because I could go outside with the guys and I'll have an alibi. I ain't been on no phone. I gave y'all the numbers. They call Rick. I've been outside with the guys. They gon' vouch for me. Right. And by the time we came back in from Rick, there were about 6-7 G's standing up by my door. And soon we came in, they were like, Joe T. And I could already tell from the aggression, this was the security in the pod at the time. And me and him already had an issue too. And I went in there, me and him got to arguing, took his shirt off in the cell. I pushed him, he pushed me. They had to break that up because, you know what I'm saying, gee, we weren't supposed to put our hands on each other. And make a long story short, they wrote me up for what they call disruption of organizational unity. It's really one of the worst write-ups you can get, you know what I'm saying, because I caused a lot of, you know what I'm saying, commotion amongst the guys' division, because a lot of guys taking my side, a lot of guys taking his side. And he did something bogus. He wrote me up 2 different times. He wrote me up, first I got wrote up for disrespect. I took a 3-minute cover up that night. The next morning we woke up, he came and served me another write-up. And he said he was serving me with
That's crazy.
Yeah. You can't do that. It's in court, literally, that's a form of double jeopardy. You're supposed to charge me all at one time. You're supposed to give me the disruption and the disrespect. And they had it out for me because I ain't never did drugs. I ain't never get high. And so I was real heavy on, you can't be doing the drugs. You know what I'm saying? I was real heavy on that. And he was one of the people who got high. And when he brought me the write-up, and everybody I'm going to ask do drugs. I'm like, can he do this? They were like, nah. They were telling me he could, So I call what they say going beyond the fence. Going out beyond the fence is basically either calling somebody in the free world that's a G, or I'm calling G's from other penitentiaries.
Right. And
you weren't supposed to do that. But see, my daddy was, you know what I'm saying? But he had retired, but so he knew everybody. So, and everybody knew I had basically almost favoritism or bias because I was able to do that. Most people couldn't. So when I called my dad and explained the situation, off the top, he had been doing it. He said, that's double jeopardy. And then he put me in touch with somebody else. They said it was double jeopardy. And this person did something we weren't going to expect. And he called the heads over all of the institutions. And they called to the penitentiary where I was at and told them, anybody put their hands on Joe T, they going on the block. And then they had
a whole lot of order, man.
They called, it get heavy now. This stuff ain't to be played with. And they called everybody in the cell and they asked, they said, somebody done called outside the fence on Joe T. And when we find out who did it, y'all know what time it is. I was terrified. They not knowing I'm the one who made the call. I said, oh man. As soon as they got out of the cell, I pulled the phone out and called my dad. I said, you got to call them. I said, man, the dude with Pee Wee at the time. I said, man, you got to call whoever you called and get him to call whoever he called. And they need to call Pee Wee them and tell Pee Wee them they can't say that I'm the one who called. And make a long story short, man, I talked to a couple of brothers about it, and I was like, man, I just wanted to go away. I said, I'm going to take the 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. They were like, do what? I said, no, I'm going to take it. Because they got to match people that's the same size as me. I got to fight 3 people, and then they'll have one person who basically a fresh set of hands if one of them get tired, and they'll rotate. So basically, you fighting 4 people.
Goddamn.
In a little bit of cell. Yeah.
And the first 60 seconds?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Wow.
Straight. Yeah. 60 seconds, 6 times. so yeah. I went down there and I hollered at him. I said, if I take a 6 minute cover, I said, well, it's a dead issue. And the CEO, he knew. He said, you will take a 6 minute, Josie? He said, man, you take that 6 minutes. He said, it's over. I said, give me the 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I took the 6 minutes. I feel like they could have killed me in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably didn't stand up on my feet a minute and a half, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to fight the dude who was just in front of me. I got the dude in front of me, one on the right, one on the left. And I'm just trying to grab this dude, punch on him a little bit. And I remember about the second, third time I came up, there's a toilet right here, right behind this dude, and how he was positioned. By the time I came up, this dude hit me in the temple. And when he hit me in the temple, I can see it right now. I fell over the toilet. I was knocked out. I was conscious, but I was gone. You know what I'm saying? And I can hear everything that was going on. And they were hollering TP, you know what I'm saying? TP is basically, you know, they were in the security in there. He's saying, no, if he don't say TP, y'all don't stop.
TP is what?
1,000 parts. I mean, you got to stop it, you know what I'm saying? You could TP, bro. Like if we in a meeting and we talking, you know what I'm saying, and somebody get the outward talking or somebody wanting a TP, then 1,000. You know, everybody got to, it's a respect thing.
Okay.
And, but they beat me, knocked me out at the point where the other brother behind me literally had to hold me up while the time was still running. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was that bad. And I remember laying on the ground after it was over, and they was all shaking my hand and they was walking out. And
bloody?
Yeah. I didn't even realize, like the next morning, that night I was eating, my mouth was hanging. I had to go get a shot in my butt. I had a pinched nerve. Right? I didn't even realize this side of my face was hanging out until my celly told me when I was eating. And they were shaking my hand talking about, love you, bro. Love you, G. Love G. And the whole time I was sitting there, I said, man, I'm going to kill every one of them. Because I was getting cocaine in the pen at the time. I said, man, I'm going to get cocaine laced with that battery acid. I'm going to serve everyone. Because I wouldn't even serve the G's cocaine. But at that point, I said, they all going to die.
So, but at that point is when
you're
done with the street shit.
Yeah, and this ain't love. If you love me, this ain't a form of love. It ain't no way you telling me you call yourself discipline me to this extent and calling it love. Like it's 3 people punching me in my face on. And
toxic love.
Yeah, and then you
super toxic.
You telling me you love me. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta stay in the cell. You know what I'm saying? And y'all sending me 3 meals a day. Like it's like it ain't love. Like my mama, my sister, my brother, my aunties. Ain't no way they'd treat me like that and then turn around and tell me they love me. Like so now.
I feel you.
And a lot of people did turn around and try to say, well, you shouldn't have been. Man, that still ain't no form of love.
I feel you.